Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today in the Ask SSM video series, I'm going to be doing the final update to a very popular video that I started probably about 2 months ago, which was titled, "My Friend Needs Help, His Wife Manipulated Him into an Open Marriage." And I know many of you guys watched that and have been eagerly waiting for more and more updates, so here you go, and I couldn't resist going final instead of just part 3 and 4 and 5 and all that ongoing joke in the channel. But anyway, guys, quick recap, because it's been a few weeks since the previous one. This is about the guy who asked my advice initially if he could help RP or RPill, a friend of his. His friend of his was completely P-whipped to a whole new level, married to a complete stereotypical F-ness nut job of the way they are nowadays, and manipulated him into an open marriage. She just treats him like crap, all these things. He wanted to know my advice, help him out. I advised him that tread carefully because no good deed goes unpunished, and the guy may end up resenting you and all that. And then the videos that came after the first one was simply him reporting what happened when he tried to expose the guy to this type of content, help him out. He introduced him to some girl he started having a relationship with, and all hell broke loose with his wife. And that guy's crazy wife showed up at his house, giving him crap. Got it on video. She actually, after screaming and yelling, she actually made a pass at him, all that. And it's just been drama after drama with the guy. And ultimately, it's turned out to him, he's realized these people are not worth having in my life. Even that friend, because the friend even threw him under the bus. Right, and I advised him not to have anything to do with him anymore because you're not going to save him. It's not worth your time, all that. To the point that this woman, who's a wacko, and you all remember that, starting to spread rumors about him around their town and their circle of friends, is causing him embarrassment and all that. And so it's just not going away. So this guy decided to handle this in a different way now. And it's going to be interesting to see how he handles it. And also you're going to see how he handles that guy who he originally wanted to help once and for all. And I think he handles it very well. But and as I said before, no good deed goes unpunished. For you guys that want to help out a friend, RPill a friend, remember it's not going to be so easy, because it'll be damned if you do, damned if you don't. So I'm going to go through this guy's update here, not too long. And then also at the end of this story, guys, I got another Ask SSM that somebody sent me. It's very brief, but a guy wanted my opinion on something. He was stopping a guy from hooking up with a married woman. He wanted to know if he went too far, but you guys will see that at the end. So, as for the final update, he says, "Hey SSM, so for this update, I reversed myself on the whole radio silence thing. Something one of your commenters said got under my skin. It got me to thinking that there is something to be said for not letting Mandy be the only voice in the proverbial room." Mandy is the wacko wife to this guy. "Letting her talk trash about me and staying stoically silent leaves nothing to counter the stuff she says about me and other people's minds. And after a while, that becomes the narrative, and suddenly I'm losing the respect of my peers. And in the end, that'd be more disruptive to my peace and tranquility than just turning my back and doing and saying nothing." Yeah, avoid conflict when you can, but when people won't leave you the hell alone, then you have to act. And this guy acts. So first, I resolved to never let Mandy, what Mandy says about me to others stand unchallenged. This is not a small community, but there's enough crossover between Mandy's friends and mine that word can easily spread. And we all know how rumors spread. I'm not going to go out of my way to try to speak to everyone, but if anyone ever brings up to me again, I'm going to set them straight and tell them my side of the story. Yeah, people love a good rumor. And the more screwed up it is, remember that game when we were all kids? Whisper Down the Lane, when you got a whole bunch of kids lined up, and one person would have to say a sentence or something, and they'd whisper in each ear, and by the time you got to the end of it, it was completely different than when it started out. It's kind of like that with rumors. He says, what I did do proactively is I decided to show Bart the video of Mandy's visit along with a warning. Bart is his ex-friend here, and the video he's talking about is surveillance he took of this chick who came to his house, the wife, yelling and screaming, and then proposing him. Or, proposing, not proposing, propositioning him. We met at a nearby bar and grill, and I specifically asked the greeter for a table outside in far corner of the deck so no one would overhear us. I opened my laptop, pointed it at him, and played the video. It wasn't hard to read his reaction. He was trying to see it through his own filter, but by the end, when she asked me if I was turned on as she was, there could be no spinning it, and I saw his confidence crumble. How can this guy, I mean, I said before that the only way this guy's ever going to leave her is if he is just worn down so much that he says, that's it, I'm not going to deal with this crap anymore. But even then, some guys, they can be worn down, hit the wall, if you will, and they're still not going to wake up and see reality. And this guy is a completely whipped puppy. I mean, it's sad, but he's also a grown-ass man. And if he's not going to, stand up for himself and all that, then, well, it's not your job to save him. Just, guys, just remember, as I tell you, it's not your job to save some of these damsels in distress women. It's also not your job to save dudes that don't want to be saved. I gave him a moment to absorb it all, but when he tried to get up and walk away, I said in a low growl, "Sit your ass down, fucker." I'm usually an even-tempered guy, mostly because I don't let things get under my skin, not because I'm a passive guy. I never talked to him like this before, and he sat down. You could see him swallow. "I'm only going to tell you this once," I told him, "so listen up, and if you interrupt me, I'll split your lip. You and that cunt you call a wife are going to leave me alone. You're never going to call me, text me, or even so much as comment on a post I'm tagged in. If you walk into a room and I'm already there, you're going to turn your ass around and walk back the F out." Good for you, man. I think I told you about 2 or 3 videos ago. You need to cut this guy out of your life. This guy just brings nothing but drama and turmoil. You tried to help him. Now look what I got you, right? The drama with his crazy-ass wife. And some people could say, well, that's what she wants. Yeah, probably. But is it worth bringing turmoil into your life? More importantly, Mandy is going to leave my name out of her mouth from now on. Well, Mandy has enough things in her mouth. I'm sure she could skip you. I don't care if she's talking to someone we both know or a total stranger. If she doesn't, I'm going to post this video where everyone can see it. If you know things on the internet, you know things on the internet live forever. And I'll make sure anytime she's up for a job, any profile she has on social media, hell, anytime she applies for a credit card, this video comes up. There you go. And by the way, the video is not like it's revenge, PORN. It's just her showing her true colors and propositioning this guy. And yeah, things are on the internet forever, so I'm pretty screwed if I ever want to run for public office one day. Although, maybe these videos will help me run for public office, depending on my constituents and where I live. You never know. Let me tell you, if certain politicians that we all know about in the past or present gotten elected, I can get elected to public office if I wanted to. I could be a congressman. That's as far as I'd go. Anyhow, maybe in 20 years when I'm done with business. And I went on, and in any case you need me to play it again, you don't come off too well in the video either. She talks about you like a pea-brained little walking DICK with a leash that she controls. No matter how accurate that is, I don't think you want people seeing that. Honestly, I would have respected him if he'd gotten up and punched me in the face. I would have pounded him into jelly, but I would have at least respected him. Yeah, but it sounds like he took it like a little bitch. But that's what he is, and that's why she married him, guys. That's why she is with this type of guy, because she knows she's got a whipped puppy. And she doesn't respect him. He's just a paycheck and can watch over the kids while she goes out and hooks up with other dudes in her open marriage. Says here, lastly, I said, on the other hand, if you guys forgot I exist, then as far as I'm concerned, I'd never met you either. He said softly, okay. Then he went to leave and hesitated, as if asking my permission. I said, get the F out of here. And he left, and he left. He is so not the man I thought he was. Bro, he is exactly the man I thought he was, as well as I guaranteed the audience here. What I thought was him being primed to hear about the R pill was him just agreeing to everything I said. I wonder if he heard any of it at all, really. Probably not. What you were telling him about R pill stuff and essentially having some self-respect and being a freaking man, he just probably nodded his head and just to try to appease you and hoping that you drop the subject. Because, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys watching this have tried to help out other friends, right? Or family members. And they'll nod their head, but they're not going to watch videos like mine or read books to help themselves or question things, because it kind of just ruins their whole worldview. And last time I checked, people don't like to have their worldview messed with, okay? It's very hard to shake people out of their views on how things are after they've been brainwashed long enough. There's one last bit of news that I heard from a bro. Mandy's half-brother is that Daria kicked Bart to the curb, and Mandy is secretly jumping with glee about that. Daria is the guy that this dude, this whip puppy husband here, hooked up with a couple times, and of course fell in love with her. She was the town HOE, and because they have an open marriage, he and his wife, and he was getting all clingy and needy, and to no surprise, kicked him to the curb. Whichever the commenter said that Bart needs to be beaten down even lower before he finally sees that the truth is right. It's just that it kind of breaks your heart to see it. But in the end, as you said, you can't hand a guy a red pill. All you can do is make him swallow it. And you can't make him swallow it. Yeah, exactly. It's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it, you know. So, but anyhow, so bro, this will probably be your last update. I can't imagine much more beyond this point, and I'm running out of room to put all these finals in because ongoing joke there. But hey, your story here, as well as entertaining for all of us, gave the perfect example of no good deed goes unpunished, and what some of you guys may expect if you may try to help out friends that are in a situation kind of like this. They're with these girlfriends or fiancés or wives that have them totally pee-whipped, and these guys are so worn down that they just can't see, you know. And now some guys, maybe you can help them out, but a lot of people that finally want to make a change in their life, they themselves have to be the ones to want to make that change. They have to, whatever it is, lose 100 pounds, get a better job to make more money, leave it a horrible spouse, girlfriend, whatever. They have to go through that much hell and decide on their own to make a change. This guy may never do it, or he might. Who the hell knows? But I hope after all this, all the bullshit will stop on your end and they'll leave you alone. So, now, into that story, on to another one. We got an Ask SSM here from a guy, and he is asking my advice if he was in the wrong for essentially C-blocking a buddy of his from sleeping with a married woman. Now, you guys know my opinion on that subject. I don't think it's cool to be hooking up with a married chick or another dude's woman because, hey, that could be you, right? And it's just not right. Us guys, we got to stick to a code of honor here. There are plenty of guys that won't stick to that code of honor. I know there are guys on YouTube that kind of like do what I do, and they don't care. But that's just making things worse, and you're just behaving like these a-hole women. And so he wants to know my opinion on this. So I will read this, and I'll share my views. He says here, "Greetings, SSM. I want to know if I'm the a-hole for C-blocking my friend from hooking up with a woman we both know to be married. The story goes like this. This past weekend, I had Army Reserve training. As part of this training, we stayed at the same hotel each time we train. We were also required to have a roommate to save costs. Anyway, for the past 2 training sessions, we have stayed at the same hotel. This hotel is a bar and lounge area. I'm kind of surprised you're not staying in some barracks or something, not at a hotel with the bar and the lounge and everything, but okay. He says there is a very attractive Lithuanian bartender. She has a rock the size of Gibraltar on her finger, and it shines very brightly. From the moment my friend, we'll call him Joe, who's divorced and single like me, saw her, he has been obsessed. Well, she has a giant rock on her finger. Maybe she also has 2 giant boobs, too. Each interaction he's had with her has been over-the-top flirting and also talking about her all the time. I know she flirts back in the hopes of a bigger tip. Ding, ding, ding. This past weekend, things escalated. He had had a bit more to drink than normal. I was at the bar for a bit talking to another person in our unit. I excused myself and went back to the room. He stayed downstairs, still flirting with her, and closed the bar. He returned back upstairs to get more beer and commented in general that it was times like this that he wished he had his own room and space. Sarcastically, I responded, "Why? So you can hook up with a woman you know is still married?" He responded by saying, "Well, her marriage is complicated." I then replied, "She's still married and I'm not leaving. Am I the a-hole for not leaving our room? I love your channel and what you're doing a great PSA to young and inexperienced guys everywhere. Keep up the good work." Well, to answer your question real quick, no, you're not the a-hole. I guarantee he sees you as the a-hole because you're stopping him from getting some easy pee. But this guy, by the way, is divorced. Now, I don't know how he got divorced, but so because he's divorced and he got probably screwed, he's going to go hook up with some bartender, you know? And I'm willing to bet you, your buddy here probably, because he likes her so much, he's interpreting her actions as really being into him, right? When at the end of the day, you cannot trust the sincerity of anybody that makes a living off your tips, okay? Bartenders and waitresses especially, or dancers, you know what I mean? Now, sure, on occasion, you can hook up with waitresses and bartenders and all that, okay? We've all done it, including me. But generally speaking, they're putting on the charm for tips. So the odds are she's not into him at all. But let's just say for argument's sake she was. It's just not cool. All right, guys, we gotta have a code of honor here. All right, and sure, the chick may be hot and all that, but and notice he said that she claimed that their marriage is complicated, right? Well, how many times have you heard that one? Basically, what it is that she's with the guy probably for a reason, probably resources or watching over the kids, but she's not happy, so therefore she labeled it as complicated. And guys like this want to be the white knight to come save her, or just want some easy ass, who knows, but just not cool. There are plenty of single gals out there that don't have boyfriends, aren't married, and the guys can go hook up with. So for you guys out there, don't do it, not cool. And I might add, karma, in my opinion, is a very real thing, and it will come back to bite you in the ass, mark my words. So if you go intentionally hooking up with a married woman or some other guy's girlfriend that you know this 100%, one way or another, it's going to come back to you. It can come back to down the road 10 years, and you're married and long forgotten this, and then some other dude's nailing your wife. Or it could be that woman's husband or boyfriend showing up on your doorstep with a freaking weapon and ending you. Is it worth it for a piece of ass? Think about that. I mean, really. Okay, believe me, I've had some hot girls in my life, but even then, it's not worth it. Now, I'm 44, and I have a lot more life experience than young guys in their 20s. I know what it's like to be in your 20s. I know it's when you're on a pussy quest, okay? But looking back, it ain't worth it. So that's what I have to say about that. And your friend, just better be careful. Now, if he's hell-bent on hooking up with her, nothing you can do. Okay, it's going to happen if she indeed likes him. But he could be in trouble. So just thought I would let you know. So no, you're in the right there, but your blocking may only go so far. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think for both stories here. The main story, as well as this guy's thing, his Ask SSM about the C blocking his friend and the hooking up with married women. And guys, also, if you have a story or question you'd like to ask me, by all means, email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just give me some time and I'll get to it. Like I said the other day, I was away on vacation in Ireland for like 10 days, so I have a shitload of emails to go through and stories and all that, so I'm definitely behind, but I will get to your stuff eventually if it's definitely good for the channel. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.